Are you ready to secure your financial future? In this She Wealth Unplugged episode of Young Wealth in the Making, we're going to be talking about strategies for young adults to build wealth and achieve financial independence. So stay tuned. Hey, welcome to She Wealth Unplugged. I am Shonda, and today we are going to be talking about young wealth in the making. Yes, that is right. But first, I would like to introduce our co-host, our beautiful co-host. What's up, Daphne?
Hello, hello.
And what's up, Chanel?
Hello, hello.
All right. So we have a special guest today, and we're going to be talking about young money. Young money, okay? And young money can be a little funny, but we're going to talk about how to get through that. So, our special guest today is the one and only my seed, my daughter, and I share her with her father, Jabari Ali. Her name is Zuri Outlaw. Yes, welcome, Zuri.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning. So she's going to be helping us navigate and, give her perspective about the wealth mindset and making money while you're young, right? So that's what
Absolutely.
we talking about today.
Love it.
Let's do it. Let's
So how
go.
you doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
We're
Good.
good. We're good.
Yeah.
We're
Excited to
alive, blessed.
live
It's
back.
been a minute. It's been a minute. I'm so glad we're back on. And, it's just, whew, life has
Right?
been life. But,
Life is
it's time to get back in the saddle and really talk about what's going on and help some people and help ourselves, help our family. So I'm excited to have you on, Zuri. How you doing?
I'm doing amazing. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to talk about financial freedom in the youth community. And life is good. Let's do it.
Well,
love
let's talk a little bit about give a little bit about your background. How old are you?
I am 26 this year, going on
All
27.
right,
But
going on 27.
yep. And a little bit about me. So at first, of course, I was a college graduate. I did basketball as well on a scholarship. And from there, I told myself, okay, let's go ahead and figure out how to make some money. So, when it comes to that, just a little bit about me. I am a day trader, and I also work for a broker as well, a brokerage called Blue Star Effects Brokerage Limited.
All right, go Blue Star.
And so, just had my mentors, and with everything, it always comes with finding a network in what you want to do, and from there, I pretty much just pretty much been working for the brokerage, handling assets as an assets manager and investor every day. And so, just pretty much learning how to manage wealth and keep it going.
Wow. So, okay. So you didn't go to school for money. You didn't go to school for, your major wasn't money. What was your major?
So my major was not money. My major was spending
Or
money
business?
on that degree, which was psychology. So I pretty much picked psychology because obviously in everything you do, you need to learn how to work with people. What comes with working with people, I think psychology was best because it also helped me with networking. And then you turn your networking into your net worth, which from there, that's how you make your money.
I know
it.
that's right. So listen, folks,
Great.
teach your children, turn your network into your net worth.
Oh,
Absolutely.
That was so
good.
awesome, Zuri. That made me feel all warm and fuzzy inside because we did instill that in our girls, and I'm so glad and feel blessed that you were able to regurgitate that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so what inspired you to start focusing on financial health at a young age?
So it just when I got out of college, I realized that even though you are in college and you're supposed to network, a lot of times the people that are around you are not like minded. Just because you're in the same space doesn't mean you're like minded.
That's
So
good.
when I realized that, I was like, okay, I'm going to go out of my areas and figure out what is it that I want to do. From there, I realized that I didn't want to be a 9 to 5 person. I'm more so a go getter. And I know that I have the drive of a hustler, but I also have the ability to be a business owner and a business partner. So from there, I just told myself, I want to retire at 30, 35 years old, which is going to take me sacrificing my 20s. And so what that comes with is a lot of different things, So that just mainly it just was a mindset for me, just getting out of college, seeing all my friends doing the same thing, wanting to get out of the rat race and pretty much not living in the matrix.
Mm,
Got it.
Zuri,
good.
I've heard you say in the past that you didn't want to be a 9 to 5 person. You wanted to be a 24/7 person on your
Right,
own time. And
right,
That is
if people think about what you said, I mean, when I heard that, I was like, wow, because there are 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week. And
right,
yet, inside of that, you said, I want to be a 24/7 person on my own time. So that meant when I hear that, you want to own all of your time and
right,
choose inside of that 24/7 when you do whatever you want to do, how you want
right,
to do it. And that's so powerful.
right.
That's so
Yeah.
powerful because there's so many more mature people, older people than you at 26 who still don't get that message. So
Right.
my hat's off to you, girl. That's dope.
Absolutely. Yeah, because when it comes to piggyback off of that, when it comes to, and that's why I said it the way I said it, because even as a business owner, you could quit your job and not work a 9 to 5, but you're still going to be working all day, every day to grind to build up your business. So technically, you're going from 9 to 5 to
To 24
a
hours.
12-hour shift to literally 24 hours, but it's on your own time. You can pick whatever hours you want to work. You have 24 hours in the day, and you could choose 2 out of the hours to work every day in the morning.
Right.
So that's why I say it the way I say it, because a lot of times people feel that, oh, when I quit my job I can do whatever I want, but you're gonna have to put in actually more work, but it's
Hmm.
your own time into what you want to do, as far as like making your own money on your own time. And you, because me personally, I told myself that my as a young person, I told myself that, and this is no disrespect to like my family's and my elders salary, but I always told myself like I want to make what I'm seeing my parents make in a month, not in a year. So when you have that type of mentality, it's like, whoa, you got to do things that are like it make you kind of look like a lunatic or kind of delusional a little bit. So from there, once you pick that up as a young person, it takes a lot. So
Hmm.
yeah.
So, Zuri, I heard you say once that, not only you didn't have an interest in working a 9 to 5, you were more interested in working 24/7. So, what I hear is when you say that is you want complete control of your time. You want to pick and choose when you work, but you've got that whole conglomerate of 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week available to you. So, my question is, while you are also managing your time, are you also managing, as part of your freedom to build wealth, are you managing the people you work with? Are you finding yourself partnering with people that are going to help get you to where you want to be? How are you managing that?
Absolutely. So, with the 2 points that you spoke on, is when it comes to the 24/7 thing and being on your own time, the reason why I emphasize I rather work 24/7 on my own time than a 9 to 5 or 12-hour shifts daily is because what that means is you're either a business partner with a company, a business, or you're either maybe coaching or teaching, or you're doing something in terms of like just making your own money on your own time, your own salary. So when it comes to 9 to 5s, it's very structured. I'm someone that works outside of the box. I don't like working for anyone else. I like working for myself. Um, and so when it comes to 24/7, like when I decided to not work anymore, when I decided to not take a job, I was like, okay, I want to have a business. I want to have my own company. but I also have to put in a lot of work to get to where I want to be as far as my tax bracket. Because when
Mhm.
you're outside of a 9 to 5, you are not only structured, but you're controlled by hours, your time, and your salary, which is your financial freedom that's taken away from you. So from there, I'm like, okay, I will now have both. So it'll take me, I rather put that 9 to 5 time into working on upping my salary monthly rather than putting that 9 to 5 time into a simple structured ABC everyday life. And my salary never will increase.
Right.
So now when it comes to managing your own or having your, picking your own business partners, yes. But it really comes down to who your mentor is. It comes down to because your mentor can now lead you into a space with everything you want, with anything you want to do. There's always someone who did it better than others, or there's always someone who can teach you how to do it better than how they're doing it. So once you
Hmm.
find that person, you go ahead and you lock in with that person. You put that 24 hours in or on your own time. And then from there, you let the divine connection of you two coming together and hustling and grinding. And then from there, you let that field take care of who's going to be now on your path. Because if you're going to be going that path, you're that route, 100% of the time there's always someone who's going to come into business with you, and you don't, and it's just already chosen at that point. So yeah, I do decide to, to, like with me with the broker, my mentor is now my business partner. So a lot
Hmm.
of times when you have someone who, like, at first he showed me how to trade, and then from there he's like, wait a minute, she's better than me when I was younger. Okay, let me go ahead and I want to make some money with her, so let me have her now be my business partner, and let me go ahead and get some equity from the broker for her to trade with. Got to put her on a 3 month trial, but because that, it just comes with, also you still have to prove a point, when you get there. But I rather prove to myself that I can do it, rather than having a boss every day and
Hmm.
9 to 5. So yeah, technically yes, I do choose who I decide to work with, because it's on your own time, and you can choose who you decide to learn from. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
So it's very important for people to have mentors. So if you are you saying, like, if you don't know something,
Hmm.
it's important for you to open up and receive that help and look for that help so that you can grow.
Yeah. So when it comes to when it comes to receiving the help and receiving the knowledge, that's really where the money is at. You have to put the steps in, of course, to, like, figure out what is it that you want to do. But a lot of times when you meet people, a lot of times in life, we think we know our calling, but we also may be talented in something we didn't think we were talented in. Like, I didn't wake up
Yeah.
and say, oh my God, I want to be on Wall Street. Like, that wasn't something that I thought about. So
Yeah.
I didn't know, like, usually the stuff that comes, I feel like, at random sometimes, unfortunately. But it's not that it's random, it's just that you're opening yourself and you're not limiting yourself. You'll be able to put yourself in a space where you can find if you have talents in other things, and then at that point you got to find somebody that's really good at what you do and that you want to be better than. Because if you don't have something to strive for, it's like you're going to be mediocre, or you're going to be basic, or you could just go to YouTube and look something up. But me, I'm not someone that just goes to YouTube or just, can sit in one room and talk to one person. I make sure I don't limit myself and I meet more people.
Hmm.
Once I did that, I was like, okay, I had one mentor at first, young, my age, to show me, how to trade a little bit. And then from there, it took me to grind a little bit, and then at that point on the path, like I was saying, I found my next mentor, which my next mentor, because I did the work to find the first one, this mentor now became a business partner, and now I know, how I'm a professional at, like, what I do. So I think
Mhm.
I answered your question, but yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
much.
At what age do you think you were where you realized the importance of collecting these mentors and knowing that you needed to make those connections?
So it's never too late. I knew from being little when I always wanted a Bugatti. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
I know
Ooh.
that I want the like most expensive car in the world at 7 years old. Don't know
Mm,
how I'm gonna get it, but when I something as little as that should be a confirmation for you to know that your mind is beyond what you see. I
Mhm.
didn't see a
Mm.
Bugatti on the street. The only way I was able to see a Bugatti was on the internet, and it gravitated towards me because it signifies wealth. It signifies that, oh, it's something that not everybody has. I want to be a part of the 1%. So when you look at little stuff like that, it's just confirmation to show you that you've always had it in you. You got to go
mm,
get it. So when I turned, but to talk about age, I always knew I had the mindset, but sometimes you got to go through. I feel like I went through some, the patterns, the protocol, being in school. Because if it was up to me, I would have learned how to trade a long time ago. But
mm-hmm,
it took me to be fully developed at 25 mentally to
Mm-hmm.
actually realize, okay, I know that I have the mindset. I know that because for me, I had a pretty unique story. I had a lot of panic. A lot of the times, people who are like very wealthy, they did have like panic attacks, and they had like because you're so anxious for the future.
Oh, like anxiety.
I
Mm-hmm.
never been a depressed person where I'm just sitting and just eating and just I hate my life. That's never been me. But I
mm,
realized that my superpower was my anxietal aura that I had, which told me I'm so anxious. I know I'm better than whatever, or I know I can fight off.
mm,
I know I can. I use that as a superpower, and I put that into making money. When you do something like that, when you're able to like take your mental health and turn it into a superpower, that's a different mindset because
Mhm.
from there, you're in control. You know, me personally, when it comes to making money, like I have a lot of friends who they sit around and they mope. I have a lot of friends that the ones that mope, I don't talk to them like that. I can't talk to them all day. I don't hang around them. They may not really see me like
Mm.
that. I've lost a lot of friends along the way of where I am now
mm-hmm,
because my mentality was, yeah, okay, I might feel a little off today or I might but I'm gonna go to the gym and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna figure out how to make some money today. Like
Right.
I can't, and then also being 25, like that was a year for me where I decided to get on an antidepressant. I didn't like it. I hated it. I tried to be vegan. I tried to do all these different things to keep my mind where it needed to be, but it was a sometimes things are a gift and a curse, whatever. But I decided to it was a blessing for me because when I took the medication, I took it at an age where ironically your brain fully develops at 25. When I took the medication, I noticed that I feel like I got smarter all of a sudden, and
Mm.
I decided to like do all these different things that had to do with wealth, like day trading and learning stocks and learning currencies. Like anything that has to do with money, I'm looking at every day. I'm literally looking at the U.S. dollar every day.
mm,
So it's like from there, I'm like, you can't get no closer to money than that. I'm
Mhm.
right.
making money on the money at that point, because I'm trading money on the US dollar. The
Right.
currencies go together like, whether it's the Canadian dollar, Australian dollar, the Japanese pound, whatever it is, that's what I'm doing. Or stocks. Stocks are companies, which is money, which is equity. So my brain, like, it went beyond, oh, I need to make money. It went to the money, to the dollar. So,
Right.
so like from there, um, that was the age, that was the age for me. Because right, I mean, right now I'm 26, but because I utilize my mindset, I've done things that it would take every other trader that works with the broker I work with right now. They're 50 to 65 years old. I'm 26. The other broker traders are looking at me like, what's wrong with how is she able to pick this up, so it's like, but it's a mentality, and they respect me and they move out the way because it's like, well, what can we do? And then the owner, the broker, he literally he put all his investors only with me because of my mindset. So
Mhm.
um
Favor ain't fair. I'm just saying.
yeah.
I think it's just, I think it is
Incredible.
fabulous. I think it is fabulous. And just to sit and talk to you,
Oh,
is quite honestly an honor
seriously.
because you have the depth
Mm.
of so much. So you have the depth that is bigger and deeper than so many ever get to by the time
Right.
they are no longer on this earth.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So, so it's really great and refreshing to see your power and to feel your energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you're 50, no, you're 26 now, 52. By another
Your
26
mama age.
mama
Right.
age, where
Right.
you be?
Where am I gonna be?
That's
Probably
good.
I
Mm.
probably done bought a whole new planet by that age. But I think where I'm gonna be at is I'm just gonna be honestly with my goal of wanting to retire as a billionaire by 30 to 35 years old. At 50 years old, I should be just nothing but an educator. That's all I need to be doing at that point, because when it comes to life, you're supposed to be here to find your calling, find something, find a purpose, and teach others and leave a legacy. So it's like if I'm not teaching kids, or if I'm not teaching young adults that are my age so they can do it sooner than I did it,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
what was I here for? Just to spend money? I can't take it with me, but I can
Right.
leave a legacy, which will be forever. So with me, it's just more so just I want to make money right now. I want to manage money consistently. I want to have money, and then at that point, I want to share my money, and then I want to educate. That's how I see my life going all the way to the grave.
That's awesome.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm
And
gonna get, I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna start doing what Zuri doing. I'm gonna
That's
get.
right,
what I'm
me
saying.
too.
I'm like,
I'm ready to.
um, this is incredible. This is incredible.
Woo!
Just
Wow. I'm so proud of you. I'm so
right.
proud
I'm like,
of
that's
you.
your baby.
Thank
That's your
you.
baby.
But you
The
know what
wonderful
I can say
accomplishments that
too.
she brought to this screen is incredible. Go ahead. Go
You know
ahead.
what I can say, and I don't mean to cut you off. It takes a special. My broker guy, he told me that I was. He literally called me a delusional lunatic, and when he told me that, I said that's kind of offensive. Like, what do you mean by that? And he was like, "It. You have to literally be crazy in
Mm-hmm.
our society,
Mm-hmm.
in the matrix. You got to be crazy to go outside of the matrix." So
Mm-hmm.
he told me, "You are what they would say a lunatic and delusional to think that you can go outside of what is right now." So
Structure.
when
Mm-hmm.
I heard that, I took that and I ran with it. And then at that point, my dream started getting bigger. I was like, "Oh, I wonder if I could be a trillionaire one day. How do I do that?" So it's just like a lot of times people, uh, my age, they don't get it. Like I have a lot of friends who don't understand it. I have a lot of friends who they just like to party every weekend. I give up my weekends. I haven't gone to a party in probably like a year and a half. I've given up my Sundays, my Saturdays. I mean, it's Sunday. I'm here with you. I could be at the beach with friends.
And
So
listen, she used to host parties, not even host, but give
yeah,
parties, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
right. To
in
make
LA.
money.
Yeah.
To
So,
make money. So it's like when you're young, like yeah, yes, your parents made a sacrifice, but you got to make a sacrifice too. Like you can't just say like for you to sit around and think that something is going to be handed to you because you're young or you're going to be able to get. It took me having to bust my butt to find an investor, my first investor that I fired him now, which is so funny because it's like when you get to the point where it's not about the money for me, it's more so about the business relationships and the divine connection of everything. I'm at a point where, and that's the beautiful part about it. And I want this for any and everybody that's like in my space or outside of my space making their own money to be able to fire somebody. That's how I knew I was making good money. Because if I'm able to fire an investor, oh, that's pretty much
you're fired.
Right.
Who's
so
busy? Somebody, okay. You're fired. Who'd we hear
Right.
that from?
so
Right.
from there, and mind you, I fired him at 26. This man is like 62. He's like, "What do you mean you're firing me, young lady? I'm the one with the money here." And I'm like, I could care less about that. My thing
Right.
is I work too hard day and night and sacrifice my weekends, my Friday nights, I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning every day to
Every
get
day.
on calls. Like, my life is as crazy. Like, even my broker guy, he was telling me, like, the more wealthy you want to be, the more boring your life is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning you're not going to be able to go nowhere. Like, he told me, if you want to be a billionaire by 30 years old or sooner, if I were you, I would stay home every day until you turn 30. I was like, what are you talking about? Stay home every day until I turn 30. But he was just like, that just means that you're focused and you're locked in enough to where you can strive for more than $1 billion. Because if I'm sitting at home and I'm locked in, pretty sure I could surpass that. We all could surpass that. Everyone on this call could surpass that. So
Yeah.
it's just, it takes the sacrifice at, it doesn't matter what age it is. Like, literally, it doesn't matter. But
Hmm.
I'm speaking to the youth right now, because like I said, if I would have started this at 18, or if I would
Mm-hmm.
have started this while I was in college and knew
Mm-hmm.
that I wasn't moving around and I already have learned from myself, because I was like, man, I should have moved around and networked with folks, that maybe one of my math teachers maybe would have known somebody that's in financial of day trading. Maybe
It
one of
wasn't
my
there. It
professors.
wasn't that time though. It
It
wasn't
wasn't
your
my
time.
time. But it's just like, you never know
Right.
what I could have passed up, because I decided to focus on just doing it what everyone else was doing, going to school, going to basketball, and that's it, and going home, going to sleep.
But
It's like so much I could have possibly did.
if I can just say, the level of adversity that you had to push through as an athlete is
Yeah.
different from someone who
Oh
who
yeah,
who didn't do what you did. You know
right,
what I mean?
Right.
There's things that you can reach back to that
right,
you had to go through on the court or in preparation to be on the court to be like, this isn't even a fraction of what I
right,
had to give to that as far as
yeah,
my energy and effort. This
yeah,
is not, I can do this literally laying down with one hand
yeah,
tied behind my back, so it's just a matter of executing it at that point.
Mm-hmm.
right,
So don't look at it as I wish I would have started sooner, because you got a different level of training for
right,
your forever.
Everything was an ingredient.
right.
Yes,
Oh
It
yeah,
made
definitely
you
it
are
was.
today.
everything. Yes, you just add it to your toolbox.
Yep,
That toolbox is custom, and it's getting ready to take over the whole garage.
that's right.
Right,
Yep. And I was just about to ask you, can you recommend any tools or apps or anything that help manage your finances effectively, or any young people to help
mhm,
them?
That's
But
good.
I mean, you just gave us a bunch of gems, a bunch of tools,
Mhm.
and
yeah. I mean,
and
I
to
think with
sum
the
it up.
youth, it's only really a couple things you need to do. Find a mentor, create a budget, set
Mm,
clear goals. If you can open a savings account, great. Save money. Don't spend all your money in one place. Of course, having an emergency fund and avoiding debt, because that's basically the problem with us right now in America. Everyone is it's nothing but debt. So if you put yourself in a position where you can become wealthy, take advantage of it. It's so many ways out here to make money. So that's just pretty much what it is. You know.
Can you just repeat those? I know you said find a mentor, avoid debt,
It.
do an emergency fund.
Create a budget.
savings, savings account.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I was just saying, like, having an emergency fund, avoiding debt, setting clear goals, creating a budget, and I think I said have a savings account. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much like how I live my life, as I
Don't spend all
also
your money in
sacrifice
one place.
time. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yep. And
So
just to, before we conclude on this, but
Hmm.
one of the things, you've also been introduced to, IULs, and introduced to, you know, putting your money up, and how to put your money in a place where it works harder for you than you're working for it. And, you know, um how you can use that money later in life, even towards retirement, because you guys, your generation, we can't even depend on social security for you guys, and you want to be you being entrepreneurs, so you're not in someone's organization. And so when
Yeah.
you're entrepreneurs, you have to think about, how is it going to be when you're ready to stop,
Hmm.
So can you quickly just briefly speak on what you learned even about life insurance?
Oh my gosh, yes. So, and I was going to bring that up. So, when it comes to life insurance, it's amazing starting young because, especially with having an annuity, and if you do, like, my goal is I would love to put $1 million in an annuity. Like, I don't want, and I want my money to grow, from being young. So, like, I think it's dope, especially because I have friends who have children and they're like 27, 28, 29, 30, and they have 3-year old and 4-year olds. I think it's one of the best things that you could do financially is put your money in a policy and put your money into an annuity, so that way you're letting it grow. You're not losing money, and it's on the right side of the market too. So did I answer? I think I answered your
Yeah.
question.
Yeah, and you have that cash value. So with those
Yeah.
your friends with the children, that's what episode that we have, that talks about $1 million baby, and that's setting up
Right.
that policy where, they're putting in like $100 a month in a life insurance policy where they can take out in 10 years, the milestone for their children can take some money out, to take care of the things they need to take care of. If they don't have the support, guess what? They've created the support. They've
Yep.
created their own bank,
Yes.
Yep.
so that I think that's important, and I appreciate that you acknowledge that, and it's about the index concept, and it's about compounding interest, and compounding interest, we all need to learn that and embrace that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah, well, go
That's
ahead.
I just wanted to ask, what did you mean when you said on the right side
Mm.
Of the market.
of the market? Thank you. Yes.
So, you know what, Mom, you might be able to reiterate what I mean by that. And I think where I was going with that is,
We're protected.
how the structure of the policy, how it's based off of what is it again?
It's the index, and
The index.
how
Yeah,
it's
but it's
protected,
on the
so
right
you
side of
don't
the market
lose.
'cause you're not losing money. You know what I mean?
Right, you're
It's
not
not like
losing.
you're trading. It's not like trading it and then you take a loss. Like, it's
right.
on the
Right,
right side of it. That's what I meant by that. Pretty much for the
Hmm.
policies, because your money is like it's continuous to growing and increasing when you have your money in a policy.
Hmm.
right.
So that's what I like, the SB 500 and the that's what I was getting at. All
And
that.
Barclays and gold, and yeah, so
Well,
basically in that
gold.
in yep, and you're good, Zuri, because
This is good.
it's a lot to understand as far as the
Hmm.
policies and stuff. You have your lane of what
Yeah.
you understand, and but it's the other lane is you said the perfect thing as far as being on the right side of it,
Mhm.
meaning that you're protected. So when we talk about life
That's what.
insurance, and we talked about cash value life insurance, and not whole life. We're talking about IULs. When we're talking
Right.
about that, we're talking about you experiencing most of the gain and none of the losses. So if the
Hmm.
market drops, you're at a 0% floor. You're making 0.25%. And so when the market comes back up, you have that reset,
Hmm.
and your money starts going back up with the market.
Mhm.
So that's basically, that's the right side of the market for the average, for the regular person,
Right.
that's not doing stocks and what have you.
Excellent.
Right.
I
Yeah.
didn't want to blow. I didn't want to blow past that statement that she made. I wanted to make sure people knew exactly what she meant with that, and
Yeah,
the protection was the biggest thing. Being able to
absolutely.
protect your investing. So
Absolutely.
excellent. Thank you, Zuri, for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because even like you said, with the that's exactly what I was trying to say too. So with having, it's a zero floor. So if markets go down, it's at a zero floor. That's why it's amazing and an advantage to put your money into the policies. Because with trading, bears against the bulls, you're in a trade. Listen, if your stop loss is not at the zero floor, you're gonna be in negative drawdown. So
Right.
Right.
it's just like whether it's like individual stocks or index funds or EFTs or whatever, the good thing about it is it's always the performance on the SB 500, or it helps with,
Barclays. Yeah.
yeah, it helps with your money always being liquidated.
Mhm.
Hmm.
This is good.
Wow. Thank you so
And
much. This has
this is
been
good.
awesome. And you just you just brought some stuff. You brought
Yes.
some, a lot of
Yes.
intelligence, a lot of positive energy. And, prayerfully, there are some young people that are going to see this and some parents that may, show their children, their young ones, their, what is it, young adults. What are y'all?
Yes.
Millennial? What generation are you? I don't know.
Actually, not even
Boomers.
a millennial. I am a Gen Z. I'm in
Gen
Okay.
Z.
Gen
this
Z.
year.
She's Gen
Oh,
Z.
that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
Gen Zs. The
yeah,
Gen Zs need to hear this.
Yes,
yeah.
They need to
Mhm.
hear
we
this.
do. That was
Mm-hmm.
You
awesome.
know, I just want to reach out to everyone. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, and subscribe. Get some conversation going about this. Share this video. Watch it again. Send it to your people. Share it on Facebook. We're always gonna do our best to bring some positive information that you can relate to, right?
Yes.
Not just textbook. This is She Wealth Unplugged. This isn't
Mm.
about, you should do this and you should do now. That's not
Yeah.
what it's about. But I just want to thank our special guest, my daughter,
Absolutely.
uh, Zuri, and wish you the best on all that you're doing. I
Yeah.
constantly hear positive things, but and thank you to Chanel and Daphne for the questions because we were able to pull some good stuff out of her.
Mm-hmm.
And you are welcome back anytime.
Anytime.
Mhm.
Anytime.
Absolutely. Enjoyed it.
That's
All
wonderful.
right. Thank you so much for watching She Wealth Unplugged, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.